Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. April 7th, Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. This is Morning Joey. I'm your host, Joey Molinaro. Thanks so much for waking up with me. Already got the chat going on. This is great. Joshua, Charles, Cameron, appreciate you. Good morning to you. Hope everybody's got a great day started so far. Nice cup of Joey going on. If you haven't gotten yours, link below. Subscribe for those on YouTube. We're here every single day, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., sometimes longer than that. Your Cup of Joey mug, your Cup of Joey dad hat, your Juju One Last Ride shirt, who, the guy out in Pittsburgh, Mark Madden, was ripping on last night. That's all right. He doesn't like it. It's probably a good thing for us. So you get that below. All your Cup of Joey merch, like I said. Good morning, David. From the Milkman, what kind of Joe do you sip on? Usually just a little oat milk with just regular black coffee. So a little bit of oat milk. I can't show you because I don't want to tip over, but if you're seeing, that's what we're working with. A little bit of cream. So nothing crazy though. But yeah, get the morning started. Grant, thank you, man. Appreciate you guys. So let's go. Like I said, merch below as always. Subscribe below for those who are on YouTube. We'll continue to grow this thing. I don't know if you can tell, but I sound nasally as hell. I got a headache. My eyes are itching like crazy. Allergies are kicking my ass, dude. And it happens every single year. And you don't expect it, even though you should expect it because it's the end of March. It's the beginning of April. The weather's starting to change. Those weird trees that are that white and smell like, like there's some Berber coming out of them and stuff like that. They start popping up everywhere. But damn, allergies are killing me. And it's like, it always makes me think back to like what a time of the year for the stoners in high school, Like when you were younger and you were trying to hide it. I was never, still am not a weed smoker, but I had people who I know, kids who I went to school with, who they were puffing the Chiba, and you go into allergy season, and I mean, what a time! It's like, don't take your allergy medicine. You can just be stoned as hell, and you can just be like, oh yeah, my these allergies are really kicking my ass, huh? Sorry, Principal Rosen. My allergies are just too much right now. That's why I'm all drowsy, and that's why I brought these sour gummy worms with me. They really help. The Reese's and the Chex Mix and the sour gummy worms and the Cool Ranch Doritos, they really help my allergies. Eyes just completely bloodshot. That was scary though, but they always did that. Like where I went to school, they always did like the drug cart, the car drug check right around this time. And I think they were just trying to, no pun intended, weed out the kids who were the kids who had allergies and the kids who were actually just stoned and were using the allergies as an excuse. And that day, I was always just an allergy kid, but I was still scared. You never know who was gonna which one of your buddies was. My doctor's calling me. Which one of your buddies was leaving a hoodie that had some weed remnants on it, or like you just never trusted it, man. It was like, who is going to set you up? Like there's constantly this feel like you're in a movie for some reason, even though you're like a junior in high school. He's like, who the hell's setting me up? Who's going to plant something that has, like a little joint roach, or like I said, like a hoodie that they wore while they were smoking in my car, because they know this is the week where they're going to see who's, smoking weed and who's just got allergies. They're kicking my ass though, man. I sound nasally as hell. That constant like watery feel in your eyes, they're like puffy. Whew. Rough. Today, big show. We got Coffee Break, the return of Coffee Break with Coach Doug's. Poor guy. I'm going to be breaking some 2021 Donruss baseball. Baseball just started last week, so I have to get more into the baseball cards. So I got these yesterday, this nice hanger box, 50 cards. Love Donruss and what they do, so looking forward to that. Poor Doug's, man. I got to apologize to him. I texted him yesterday. I was like, you want to hop on tomorrow for coffee break? And it had been a week or two. And the sweetest guy, man, Doug's. He was like, oh, yeah, I just assumed that you don't want me on the show anymore. And I was like, no, dude. Like, I should have been better at communicating, but, like, I was moving. I just got a dog. Like, we had there was another expense that came up, and, like, I just needed a little bit of downtime on buying some hanger boxes and some cards for budget reasons, because I mean, unless you score something at Target or one of your retail stores anymore, that's where it's like a normal, pack of cards for like $9 or $10. These, you go to, your local card shop, the market for cards right now is just crazy. And so like, if I'm spending a hefty chunk of change every single week on cards, my wife's one, going to get mad. And two, like, I need to use that money elsewhere. So I got to apologize to Doug's because it wasn't that I didn't want to have him on. I love to have him on. I love doing coffee break. Doug's is the man, and I love ripping cards. But I just I need a little bit of a downtime to be able to get my card fund back up. So going to be breaking those about 9:15 with Coach Doug's. 50 cards, looking forward to it. And then my guy, the best, my buddy, the center fielder for the Chicago Cubs, Ian Happ, hops on and talks for about 30 minutes. And we cover the Rizzo extension, what he's been up to in the offseason, his golf game, talk a little Star Wars, of course, because he's a huge Star Wars guy. So really, really fun conversation with Ian Happ for about 30 minutes of, like my guy Dom Frederick always says, 30 minutes of morale. Rough go last night for the Cubs. Peralta looked really, really good for Milwaukee on the bump. We couldn't get shit going, but, that's baseball, so we'll come back tonight and hopefully we'll take 2 out of 3 from the Brew Crew and be ready to roll. So Ian Happ at 9:30, Coach Doug's coffee break, Donruss at 9:15. So let's get into the rest of the show, man. I'm glad you guys are here. Hope your morning's off to a great start, and I appreciate you being along with me to start your day, as always. What's funny that I noticed is that, like, I got a tweet yesterday about something from the show, and it was a Pittsburgh guy, I think, and he said something about this is good and all, but after you wearing a Pirates hat after all those tweets about your precious Cubbies yesterday is a tough scene or something like that. And it's just so funny, and I deal with this a lot because I will fully admit it, my teams are different. You know what I mean? Like I didn't grow up in a town where, you just have like in Pittsburgh, it's just like if you're from Pittsburgh, it's just born just through and through, Pirates, Pens, Steelers, and you're ready to go, Chicago, even Cleveland, right? Like Indianapolis is one of those weird towns where, again, we're babies when it comes to sports fandom and the teams that are here. So you're going to see a lot of people that have a hodgepodge, array of different teams that they like. And it's just funny to me that, like, you notice that if you go into a room and people are talking about Lord of the Rings, and you're like, yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, big 2 towers. The movie's awesome, dude. Yeah, where Legolas is like firing, the arrows at the orcs that are running on the tunnel. I love that. That's awesome. People who are talking about Lord of the Rings are like, yeah, all right. Lord of the Rings guy, like if you're somewhere and somebody has a Star Wars mask on and you're like, hey, love the Star Wars mask. And they're like, oh, Star Wars guy? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, sick, me too. More of a Lord of the Rings guy. And then you're like, oh, that's all right. I like Lord of the Rings as well. That's great. It's all good. But then when it comes to sports teams, it's like, oh, that's not your team from your hometown? Fuck you. You like this team now? Kill yourself. It's an interesting dynamic and how the mentality changes when you're talking about like movies and shows and books, all are welcome in that realm. But then when it comes to teams, apparently if you're not from that town or, you didn't come out of the womb and the second picture that was taken other than you being butt-ass naked in your mom's arms is you having, a fucking IU sweater on, or IU little what would you call it? Like a scarf? No, like a bandana. I guess I'm thinking more for a puppy. But, having a little IU beanie on, if that's not the second picture, then everybody's just like, oh, not a lifelong fan. Fuck off. It's so weird. Just a little observation that I've noticed, though. I don't really know. Let's hop into triple shot before we get on with Doug's first pump. Really, really excited about this. Again, for my Star Wars nerds or my Lord of the Rings nerds or Harry Potter people, or we're all 3 into 1 like me. First shot, Skywalker Academy has been trademarked by Lucasfilm. This is big. This is exciting. So that means, obviously, They're trademarking it. They're getting the rights to it. They're holding on to that so that they have the realm and the freedom to be able to say, you would think, that there's some animated series, some live action series, hell, even a movie, some books about the Skywalker Academy filling the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, when we see Luke Skywalker down and out. This is the prime time of Star Wars that I, as a fan, have been wanting to see, and I think has really a ton of meat on the bone, especially now with the introduction of Grogu, Baby Yoda, and how beloved he is, and now he's in the arms of Luke Skywalker. So we have this realm, 5 years, maybe even before that, after Return of the Jedi, all the way up to The Force Awakens, where Skywalker Academy, where we eventually know that Ben Solo is going to fuck it all up, hopefully to God. That was my second thought, besides one, hell yes. Two, does this mean the inevitable? That Ben Solo is going to bring down Baby Yoda? I don't think so personally. I think that Lucasfilm and Disney know that he's too beloved, so whatever they have planned for Skywalker Academy and what's coming up with that, they know that Baby Yoda has to live on. But that is exciting as hell. I've read a few comics about young Ben Solo and about that time and the making of Kylo Ren that took place in that era, between Return of the Jedi and between The Force Awakens. But they've trademarked Skywalker Academy, so one would then believe that is leading to them making, again, animated series, live action show, even movies about what went down with Luke Skywalker training a new age of Jedi that includes young Ben Solo and Baby Yoda. And if that doesn't get you fired up as a Star Wars fan, I don't know what will. I had a few people tweeted me and they were like, if Adam Driver's not playing young Ben Solo, then I'm not interested. That's just not going to happen. I mean, I don't think. Unfortunately, Adam Driver's my favorite actor. I love him. But I don't see him making a return. I don't see him making a return, especially as a younger Ben Solo, unfortunately. So it's going to be somebody else. And if it's an animated series, it's going to be voiced by somebody else. We're just going to have to come to accept that. But still, very, very exciting times. This is good. I'm looking to see the chat right now. See, Chris, I mean, as long as you stick with the same teams, who cares? My main teams for my entire life have been the Cubs, the Steelers, and the Pacers, and because of my wife and because of what happened there, roll with Purdue. And then, again, you saw the package LSU sent me last week. I have a connection there, and now there's that LSU connection. So the three pro teams have never been different. They've always been the same, and they will always continue to be the same unless, I have a kid, and then 20 years from now, or whatever, they end up playing for the fucking Twins organization or something. I don't know. Then I'll root for him there. But yeah, so super excited about Skywalker Academy. That is very, very, very noteworthy, and I'm pumped about it. Shot number 2: Major League Baseball is now doing City Edition. They call City Connect uniforms. They released the first ones yesterday for the Boston Red Sox. And a lot of people, there's some feedback, obviously, because the Red Sox City Connect uniforms are blue and gold, and the blue, it looks like Bruins, it looks like UCLA on their hat. So there's some pushback there, but it's obviously for good reason. It's a City Connect, and for Boston, it's the Boston Marathon permanent finish line colors. So that's the connection there with the Red Sox uniforms, and I love this. I do. I think that every league, every professional league should have some sort of alternate city connection, city edition uniform like the NBA started that we've seen for a few years now. And now that Major League Baseball is doing, I think the NFL should do it as well. I'm all for having a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice, something new to be excited about. And again, to connect people with these uniforms. I'm just imagining, again, for Indianapolis, if it's the Colts, and something obviously to do with IMS. Think of all the possibilities there that the Indianapolis Colts could do if they had a city edition NFL uniform. You could mix in the bricks there. You can mix in the flags, the IMS logo in there. You can have a lot of fun with them. And that goes for every city, Pittsburgh, bring more of a steel aspect, even more so than what they have right now. Cleveland, dog pound, Chicago. They love their city flag. Mix that in there as well on the helmet or something. I mean, I think there's a ton of possibilities. So I love it. I love that Major League Baseball is doing it now, copying what the NBA's done. I think the NFL should do it too. Let's see. We got Coach Doug's here. Yeah, Steelers City jerseys would be lit. Absolutely, they would. Absolutely, they would. And the Pacers have honestly done a really good job too. I love what the Pacers have done with theirs. So I'm all good here. Let's go with our man, Coach Doug's. Coffee break with Coach Doug's. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. Like I said, I told people off the jump, I got to apologize because I didn't communicate well enough. And you thought that it was just because I didn't want to have you on the show. But honestly, I got a dog and I moved and shit. And so I just had different expenses where I had to kind of take a break from my weekly card allowance.
Oh, in today's market, absolutely. I definitely hear you. I mean, I might buy like a pack here or there, but it's not until like the big releases that I'm actually interested in that I spend money to get the hobby boxes. Cause I mean, to get a hobby box, you're talking about $500 to $1,000, like not a problem.
Yeah. And, we're both very lucky with where we work, but I know that that's certainly not in my budget, and I don't speak for you, but it's not. I would assume that's not yours as well.
Yeah, I just moved to New York, so it's definitely not in my budget either. But you got to splurge here and there. I mean, like that's one of my hobbies, and so like it's the same as if somebody's buying car parts or
right,
sport or whatever.
Right. How is New York for you? You enjoying it so far?
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I'm in a hotel right now. Just down the street from the office, so it's pretty nice to be able to get here and like stay late, and actually it's kind of like I'm just at the office all day, which is nice. Sure. I can't believe I'm saying that about the job. Oh yeah, it's been like where else would I want to be? I feel like I'm Michael Scott,
right?
But yeah, Frank and I are looking for a unit house, but there's no inventory in Jersey. Multiple real estate agents have told me pretty much everyone's leaving New York City. And or at least there's so many people moving from New York to Jersey. It's just, it might be unlikely that we actually do the unit house, at least right now. Still looking for a place, but New York, I mean, it seems to be picking up some, but I'm enjoying it.
Nice. You're not going to go down to Miami with Dave and do a unit house down there in South Beach?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Florida guy, but I think I might be a more northern Florida guy. I'm not sure if I'm a Miami kind of guy. Maybe once I drop this weight and, get into a few more leisure activities, maybe I'll head down.
There you go. Nice. All right. So what do you have anything today? Do you have any card that you want to talk about or anything?
Yeah, I have a couple. So one of the things, and I'm still getting used to posting all this on like Instagram and whatnot. It's one of those things where if I know about a card, I'm like, oh yeah, that's just I'm still figuring out what I know that's not general knowledge, because like if I find out, I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm the last person to know about it. So it's never like, oh, like what can I show off? But yeah, so I have a couple cards. A lot of people, is this family friendly?
Whatever you want, man. What
I don't use adult language or anything, but the card I'm going to show may have an expletive on it. Is that okay for this channel?
Yeah, I mean, my mom's watching, but she's used to it. I mean, fuck. There you go. I said it. So.
Okay, well, there you go. You said it, so I'm allowed to now. So, so this card I'm going to show is a 1989. They call it an error card, but I'll tell you why it's sort of like an error card. Are you familiar with this one?
I am familiar. Yeah, for the audience, explain a little bit more.
So this is the 1989 Flier Bill Ripken baseball card. Now, this specifically is an error card. They call it an error card because Flier printed it without knowing or without realizing what was on the card. And I'll see if I can zoom in there.
We just got to get it like focused. I'm trying to see if we can get it focused at all. If not, it's all right.
It's a small print, but basically what the bottom of the card says is fuckface.
Yeah.
And so Bill Ripken, he's out. Yeah, I don't even think he's at his home stadium. Back in the day, they would just grab players and say, hey, we want to take a picture. And then they would use that picture later on in a baseball card. So they tell Bill, like, hey, grab a bat. We want to take a picture. He grabs a bat. He knew what bat he grabbed, obviously by like the placement of the butt of the bat. He knew like what he was doing.
Right.
He did not know, however, that the picture was going to be used for a baseball card. So I think 6 months to a year after he took this, he got a phone call, saying what's going on. Flier did not notice what was on the bat, and they started printing them, distributing them. They were for sale. And it was back in like 1989, so it wasn't the internet where somebody opened up a box and it blew up. It had to slowly, get out there and into like Beckett magazines in order for anybody to know about it. But yeah, they call this the FF error card. By the time they realized what they had done, it was already too late. And they tried fixing it by basically like scribbling out the words, and then they ended up putting like a black box on it for most of for the rest of the release. But yeah, the 1989 Bill Ripken FF error card. This one, like in this condition, it's not in great condition. It's obviously been handled and everything. The corners aren't too sharp. But this card goes for about $25 to $50. I looked it up the other day. The PSA 10 version of this, the graded like mint condition, and a couple of them went on eBay for around $750.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So how much so if you got one that was that same card, but it had like the blur out or the black box over it, would that make it more rare or more valuable?
No. And so they fixed it early on in the run. And so there are plenty of these out there. Who knows how many. They were just printing cards like crazy back then.
Yeah.
We don't know how many, but excuse me. The one with the black box or the black scribble are more common.
Gotcha. All right. Damn. So but you're not getting rid of that one though, right? That's part of the collection, and you're holding on to it.
Honestly, I mean, obviously, I'm going to try and get a PSA 10 one. I'll probably wait it out, which is, I don't know. I'm still on the fence as far as waiting out. Like there are some cards that I've purchased because I feel like even if there is a drop later on, those cards are never going to be back to where they are. With this card, I'm not too sure. I'll either buy a PSA 10 version soon, or I'll wait until it drops. But I just picked up this one because it was $25. Frank Fleming, took me to a Jersey card store and the guy had it. And I'm like, that's the first one I've seen, so I'll buy it. But I think you can probably find one of these for $25-$50.
Did Frank give you the whole rundown, the history behind it when you were searching for that card?
So not this card, but it was definitely an experience going to any store in Jersey with Frank where he knows the owner. I had to sit down because they were having such long conversation, and I didn't mind at all. But it was truly one of those like surreal moments where I'm listening to him talk about his relatives to the owner as if like, oh well, who owned that restaurant? That was my grandmother's cousin. And like he says, "Mutta," he doesn't say mother. He says that was my grandmother.
Yeah,
it was one of those. It was definitely one of those surreal moments where I'm like, "Oh, this is happening. Like this isn't just in the movies. Like they talk like this." And it was like 20 minutes talking about their relatives, like who they knew and who was where. And I'm like, as someone who doesn't have any cousins from Jacksonville, Florida, I found that very entertaining and like
yeah,
I didn't realize it was real thing.
Yeah, he says Mutta, he says grandmother, he says time for another.
Yeah,
exactly. Unboxing. What else do you have? Do you have anything else that you want to hit on?
Yeah, so I have one card. This is a special card. I was kind of grilled as to whether or not I would be selling it, and I had to tell the person who signed it, no, this is like a personal collection card that I will never sell. I have no intention of it. I can't imagine a time that I would. But this is a Dave Portnoy.
Oh my God.
Allen and Ginter relic card. So it has that little piece of memorabilia on it. And, I know a guy who knows a guy, and he got him to sign it. So
That's incredible.
Autograph card.
And his autograph is, he's big right now. His autograph's going for a lot. He's made the statement that he's not signing for the collectors anymore. He's just signing for like kids and stuff.
And that's why I got the talking to. That's I come in the office and I haven't been here for too long. So when I come in the office and I hear Dave go, "You selling that card, Dougs? You sell?" I'm like, "What? No, I have no intention of selling this." And I almost feel like, but it's kind of a weird thing where it's I feel like the kid in Turbo Man where he gives back the Turbo doll and he's like, no, but you wanted this. He's like, yeah, like why would I need that when I have the Turbo Man at home? It's like, or the real Turbo. It's like, I feel weird owning this card because it's like I see this guy at work all the time, and so but it's definitely, this is one of those things where years down the road, either one of my sons or one of my nephews is going to be like showing it off and saying like, oh, my great uncle was Doug's, and like that's how I have this card.
That's a really nice looking card though. Like it is a very clean looking card.
Yeah, Allen Ginter did a really good job with this one. They have the Topps Allen Ginter. They have really cool like celebrity cards like this. I did just purchase a Kevin Smith one. It's not signed, but I'm going to try and get it signed. But it's the same thing. It's Kevin Smith. He's a director. It's got like part of his like one of his jerseys.
Yeah.
Those are cool cards to go with, like not just sports card, but like memorabilia.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I love that. All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna start ripping these. I think we'll see what we got. Have you ripped the Donruss 2021 baseball?
No, I have not.
I'm a little nervous. It looks like on the cover, like, do they not have the rights deals where they can use the teams?
No, they don't. So Topps, I'm trying to think. Is it Topps? And I believe Topps has the MLB rights. So Panini and any Panini subsidiary like Donruss, they have to airbrush out basically any of the logos or the word scripts or anything like that would show what team it is.
Oh man, well that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Obviously, they're still popular cards; they still sell, but that's definitely a factor that I think about.
Hey, right off the bat though, my guy Kyle Hendricks just says Chicago. See, damn, that's all right. Well, I mean, there's still good looking cards, but again, just like the plainness of them is just kind of rubbing the wrong way,
Chicago.
Now we got them right. Chicago. You got Joey Votto, Cincinnati. I mean, good looking card, but I mean, he's just like playing for. I mean, he plays for the Reds, but he's just playing for a red team.
Yeah,
DJ LeMahieu, and now they're all flipped. They do this flipping nonsense here. I don't know. I mean, so you said that you don't really mess with the kind of cards that they have to airbrush the logos out, right?
Well, yeah, and so just coming like as a collector, like it's just something it's something that like when I'm looking at the baseball cards, I feel like that's a major factor in the card is the uniform, the jersey, like who they're playing for. It doesn't destroy the card or anything for me. It's just when I see a card that has, like if this Bill Ripken card had the Oriole head and like the Orioles, airbrushed off of it, and it wouldn't be the same card.
There's a nice little throwback Randy Johnson here, but again, it just looks so weird because he's not playing for anybody. It looks like a Kmart fucking, commercial or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like a practice jersey or something.
Yeah. Paul Molitor. So they got like this little throwback kind of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
With these different players. But so I've gotten Kyle Hendricks, which is cool. Oh, Roger Clemens for the Red Sox.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Not bad. What are you aiming to get next, Doug's? What are you like waiting for or thinking about getting next in terms of
I was pondering possibly getting another one of the Optic boxes, the Optic NFL, just because I had so much fun opening the last box. But it still is like around $600. And in the back of my head, I'm just thinking, am I going to get $600 worth of value opening it up? Like, obviously, there's a good chance that I'm not going to get $600 worth of value out of the cards. Be lucky in order to have a major hit to remake that $600.
Right.
So am I going to have $600 worth of fun? I mean, that's a lot to take in for like 24 cards. But I think I might be focused on just getting the cards that I want. I think I might be focused on just saving up my money and buying an individual card I want, or possibly saving up my money in order to buy the Prisms that are coming out next year with Trevor Lawrence.
There you go. I was going to say, yeah, you got a big few months here coming up. I got something thick here, Doug's.
All right.
Hey, Aaron Judge jersey card.
Nice.
All rise for Aaron Judge. Let's see here.
See, there you go.
The gray away jerseys.
Nice.
And then, yeah, it's not numbered or anything.
It's just a little relic.
Yeah, but it's gotten the guarantee from them, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Also, nice little card. Not a big Brian Reynolds guy, but it's a cool
little design right there.
Yeah, I'll insert there. And it's kind of throwback. It's got like the kind of the Cracker Jack box type of feel or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a few. This is what it was. It was 6 hollow orange and 2 diamond parallels is what they said, what they advertised in here. So Jeff McNeil for the New York Mets, Zach Wheeler with Philadelphia now, throwback Oral Hershiser. This is where we're getting into the orange hollows here. Oh, another Aaron Judge. Yeah. What would be your favorite color of like these are the orange hollows. What would be your favorite color that you would want to get?
I think it depends on the team, because I think it depends on the team and their jersey. When it comes to those kind of colors, like I pulled a Chase Young in that H2 box, that optic H2 box. I pulled a Chase Young rated rookie of the red Mojo parallel, and red parallel along with Chase Young was in his in that Washington football team red. And that really just hit. So I think it depends on the color of the jersey, but the purple and like the Carolina blue were always pretty cool.
Here we go. A coworker of ours, I guess, but he's with the Mariners. 14-time All-Star Alex Rodriguez. Oh, Vlad Guerrero Jr. This is cool. I like this. A little bit of the double with him swinging, and then a bigger photo of him. Diamond Kings. I like that. That's really cool. Hey, see, this is where baseball rookies are so interesting, Doug's and I tweeted it out a couple weeks ago or last week because I bought a pack, and I just have no idea about some of these rookies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And for baseball, I mean, I saw a card a couple of years ago. No, I guess it was about a year ago now. It was a Clayton Kershaw autograph card. But it was him in the his Jacksonville Suns uniform when he played minor league in Jacksonville.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, and I didn't grab it. It was like right after he won the World Series, and I felt like, all right, well, it's like $100, and I'm like, it might come down later on or whatnot. I didn't want to jump on it just because he just won the World Series, but as a Jacksonville guy, I thought it was pretty cool. But you have that card. You have any other card that he's in the minors. So when it comes to baseball, there's like multiple cards that could be the rookie card.
Hey, here's a pretty cool throwback. Slamming Sammy. Sammy Sosa. Yeah, him in his Cubs uniform looking good. 534. And so that's what's interesting too on these is they have just like stats on them and stuff. Sometimes it's not just their name. They got 530 slugging percentage. Another Starlin Marte. I've heard good things about this dude for the Sox. Nick Madrigal. I don't know. It's tough.
I think I've heard some White Sox fans talk about him.
Yeah, no, they're pretty excited about him. I mean, overall, not bad. Again, like you wish that the uniforms are actually on there, but still, they're really nice cars. So let's say Doug's, with this guy from the Sox. Let's say he ends up being a stud, and I got this rated rookie right here. With it being not having his uniform, how much would that affect the value of it?
So I'm honestly not too sure because it's a matter. I still haven't figured out the aspects to it where it's the reason these cards are worth money to investors is because collectors collect them. If collectors didn't collect them, who would investors be selling to, or who would be their end goal to sell to, besides a collector? So when it comes to that kind of stuff, personally, I prefer the cards that have the licensing or that have the logos and everything on there, but if somebody, I don't know. I guess that's a long-winded. I don't know. Um,
No, no, that's all right. That's perfectly okay. So,
yeah, personally, I prefer the cards with the logos and everything, just because I feel like that's more of it's more of like, oh, that's their baseball card. But but everyone has different preferences. So if you can, if he makes it out and he's a big star, that card is still going to have some value to it.
yeah, I'd say definitely the hit of the whole rip here is that Aaron Judge jersey.
He had
there.
had a good game last night, right?
Yeah, nice and thick there. I know the Rocket isn't a big fan of him, but I know we got plenty of Aaron Judge, all Rise fans in the office. So, all right, Bugs. I appreciate you hopping on this morning, man. Hopefully next week or whenever we do it again, probably next week, you can, I'll give you more of a heads up so you can have something to rip as well.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah, just let me know.
All right, Dougs. Have a good one, brother.
Let's go. Thanks. See you later.
That's Coach Doug's coffee break with Coach Doug's. That was a nice card right there. I really like that. Real nice looking. The back, a little old school feel. You wish it had the licensing on there, but that's all right. That's okay. All right, so getting ready, coffee break. Cool. Let's hop into my conversation with Cubs center fielder Ian Happ, and here he is. Center fielder for the Chicago Cubs, my guy, Ian Happ. How we doing, man? Good to talk to you.
Fantastic. It's we've really lucked out with the weather in Chicago the last week. Cannot take this for granted. April 6th, is that the right date? Yeah. April 6th, 75 degrees, 70 degrees in Chicago today. Like, pretty lucky.
Yeah, dude, because opening day was probably like 35.
I think the high was 35. The feels like was about 25 with the wind blowing 20 dead in. Tough day, but I'll take one of those days for 5 the other way, the way we've had it. It's been a very nice homestand to have 60 to 70 degrees, sunshine. Like, that's very rare in April, because we could have very easily had snow and 35 the whole series, which would have been tough.
Well, you know what that means, though, is that now you're having this. So then, like, beginning of May, when you're homestand there, that's going to be like 28 degrees.
100%. And I have fully prepared myself, and I've been telling guys, like, especially guys that are new, like Jock Peterson is, played in LA for the last 6-7 years from California. Like, I've been telling him, like, hey, just so you know, don't get used to this, because it's not normal. We're going to come back from a road trip in the end of April or early May, and it's going to be snowing. And you're going to be so pissed off because you're going to think that, oh, it's 70 degrees here in April. It's like, no, it's not. That's not how this works.
Yeah. And no, for sure. And that's going to be the week. I'm actually coming up to Chicago in 2 weeks for the Mets homestand. So like April 19th through the 23rd or something like that. I'm going to be in the Chicago office with Eddie and Carl and those guys. But I same shit. I just know that that's going to be the weekend where I'm packing my beanie, I'm packing my hoodie, my Cubs coat, because there's no way that it's still going to be 75 degrees. So
no, and at least now, like, you've just perfectly prepped yourself for the fact that, like, the weekend that I come up, like, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, nope, absolutely. How's you got to be psyched, man. I mean, the fans. I mean, even watching it on TV, it just feels so much better. So being out there, I can imagine how much better it is to have actual people in the stands.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy at Wrigley the way that 10,000 people can feel like way more. I think because of the way Wrigley's set up, because of how, like, the first deck, how deep it goes under the second deck, and the way that they've kind of sorted the fans, it feels like a lot more. And I've actually been on base and had, like, Colin Moran from the Pirates at first base and be like, how many people are here? Like, I'm like, well, it's only 10,000. It's 25%, but it feels like a lot more. I think there was some good tweets early the first couple games from, like, Dom Frederick and a couple guys, like, a little bit of work to do, guys, but I know it's been a year. We got to clean it up. We're there's balls in the other batter's box we're really getting upset about. Like, maybe a little bit of rust we got to knock off, but good energy, good enthusiasm to start out. Like, it was the fans are fired up. I think Trevor Williams getting a standing ovation coming off after his first start was really cool. Zach Davies coming off. The reaction to Arrieta, both opening day and when he came back, was really cool to see. And that first anthem, super, super emotional. Me and Rez were standing next to each other on the line, and Man, it was a really emotional, just having fans back, John Vincent in person singing the anthem. And then one of the craziest things, I went out to stretch right after that in the outfield, and they did a tribute to all of the workers from Wrigley that have been lost during the pandemic. Man, that was super powerful. And they started by seasons. So it went like 2 seasons, vendor, and like all the way up to 30, 50 seasons of Cubs baseball. And these people that we really get to meet kind of sporadically and see their love for the Cubs and how much they've put into the organization. But the people that have season tickets in their section, like there was one that was 20 seasons with the Cubs, and it was like left field vendor. And the people in the left field bleachers went crazy because that person means so much to them. And then it was 50 seasons upper deck vendor. And it was like that section went crazy. And to me, on the field, realizing how excited these people are to come to work every day, what they give to the organization, what they do for us to let us go play and be out there every day, and how much it means to the fans. Like that was super special and very, very emotional. I'm out there stretching before opening day, like fighting back tears, like trying not to cry on the field. It was crazy.
Man, that is so cool. It's so cool, but so like sad and just such a mix of emotions at the same time, you know? I mean, but I feel like that's kind of like, you know, what being a part of the Cubs is. Like, I mean, you know it full well, obviously. Like, I feel like there's just so much history and emotion and connectivity between families and friends and history that it's just like all this. Now I'm getting emotional, man. Now you're getting me going. I mean, it's just fucking crazy.
It's one of the things that makes being a Cub so special. And I think that it's easy to take it for granted too. It's easy to like appreciate the fact that there's a lot of history at Wrigley Field, that it's a beautiful place to play. But what goes into making Wrigley so special and making the Cubs so special is the dedication from the fans to the vendors that love doing their job, that love making the experience for the fans special. That when we walk through, we're walking kind of a different way out to the parking lot now because of our new protocols. And that when we walk through the tunnel system where the ticket people are, the vendors, or, you know, secure, all of these people that come to work to make the game happen, you know, they're looking at us and saying, great game, nice win today. Like, hats off to you. That was great. In their 30th season, like the fact that they're still so excited we got 4 games in. You know, this is the 4th game of the season, right? Or 3-1. Like the fact that those people are so excited that we just won a 5-3 baseball game on April 5th is the difference. That's what makes the Cubs and this city so special, is because from the guy that's leading off the game to the vendor that's serving peanuts in section 230, like everybody is bought in. Like every single person cares about the Cubs winning that day. And you feel that in the stadium. Like you feel this just visceral, like everybody wants so badly for the Cubs to win. And that's what like makes playing in Wrigley so awesome.
I mean, that's, you know, we got Jake back. That had to been a huge part of it, right? What's his return been like? Has he mentioned that to you guys?
Yeah, I just talking with him and his family, you know, Jake and I got pretty close when we played together, but then he lives in Austin in the off season as well. Same as me. So I've got to hang out with him in the off seasons, even when we weren't playing together, and play golf with him and spend some time with him. So I think it just, what he said over and over, and his family, as well as wife Brittany and the kids, is it feels like home. Like it feels like they're coming back home, and it's so easy for them because it's so familiar, because they get to, you know, experience neighborhoods that they've already experienced and go to restaurants that they love, and really just come back to a city where they had such great memories and spent so much time. And I think Jake, for his routine in the clubhouse, for the freedom that the Cubs give him to do whatever he wants from a physical standpoint, and have pitching coaches and people, because Tommy Hotovy was here as the analytics, pitching analytics, which was Run Prevention was the title before he was the pitching coach. So obviously he was here with Jake. Mike Porzello was here with Jake, and Wilson Contreras. So to have familiar faces that have already seen him at his best, and his presence in the clubhouse is fantastic. You know, he's always around talking to people. He's talking to Alizé and young pitchers. He's imparting wisdom, and he's ingrained himself wherever he goes, but obviously here as just a part of the clubhouse that's so instrumental. And I think it's easy to overlook from a stats perspective, and when you're looking at just purely numbers on a page, like how important it is for the cohesiveness of a team, for guys like that in the clubhouse to really be integrated into making everybody better day to day.
That being said, though, man, I mean, it's been a little, I mean, it's a transition time, kind of. I mean, Schwartz gone, Lester gone. What's it been like? Because, I mean, that's all you've ever known, you know, since you've been with the Cubs is Lester and Schwartz, you know, and then two big guys like that are gone. I mean, has that been a different feel in the clubhouse without them?
Definitely. I mean, it's hard when like some of your best friends in the game aren't on the team anymore. Like, I think that part of it from like a friendship standpoint is probably the most difficult. But happy for those guys in their new situations. I think Schwarber in DC is going to be great. I'm on record on our podcast saying that he will hit 40 home runs as a national this year. Yeah. You know, seeing Johnny in that all red uni in spring training for the first time was weird. Like that was strange. But definitely miss those guys. Miss them a ton. I think of what John did for the city of Chicago and the franchise. And he was, I think, you know, Rizzo said this over and over, like he was so integral in the changing of what it meant to be a Cub and with bringing a winning culture to the city. So obviously we miss him a ton. And there's a lot of new faces. But I will applaud Jed and the front office on bringing in amazing people like Jock Peterson, Marisnik, Davies, our guys in the bullpen. Like we have really, really good people like Sogard and Duffy. Like all those guys are awesome. And so like what it's done for us as a cohesive unit, because all of these guys are really good dudes who want to win, and are just like a great clubhouse environment. I think that that's something that we've always had here is really great people. And it's really important to building a winning team over the course of 162 because you spend a lot of days with these people.
Right. Yeah. How's Riz doing with the contract situation? Is he doing okay?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to go up and be a pro and be Anthony Rizzo. And I would say at the end of the year, if you look at the back of the baseball card, it's probably going to be pretty similar to that 280 with a 380 on base and a 520 slug. It's going to be the same Anthony Rizzo. You get it every year. But obviously, like, he's the captain of this team. He's been here forever. He has been the one who's been through the 100 lost seasons and the championships. And as much as John Lester was a part of turning the franchise around, like Anthony Rizzo was the guy who was learning from John and was the leader of the rebuild and he is the face of the Chicago Cubs. You know, he deserves to finish his career here and have a statue out front of the stadium. Like I firmly believe that that 44 should be on the flagpole, and there should be a statue outside when his career is over. Like I want him to finish his career in the blue pinstripes and be here forever because he means that much to the city.
If you know, and I know this is a tough spot for you because you're on the team and an integral part of it, but I'm saying if they don't, I don't picket fence a lot, but I will picket fence the fuck out of this team and outside that stadium if they don't put pen to paper and get this man here for life. I swear to God. And you can come out and join for a little bit, you know, if you're running to Starbucks right there or whatever, and just kind of get a few cheers. But I swear, I will come up there from Indianapolis, I will bring the caravan, and I will fucking picket fence outside that stadium if Anthony Rizzo is not a Cub for life.
I think there's going to be quite a few people with that same mentality. And I think, you know, the what was it? The parade after 16 was one of the top 10, maybe top 5 largest gatherings in human history.
Yeah. Like number 7.
Yeah. I don't know that it would get quite that high on the picket for Anthony Rizzo, but I'm sure that there would be a large number of people outside. There was an Extend Rizzo chant opening day in the stadium that was pretty good. Obviously, it's really tough to see the Chicago Cubs without Anthony Rizzo, and I would love, like, what a good message it would send to everybody to like an Anthony Rizzo extension and then a C sewn on the jersey the next day. That would get the people fired up.
Just fuck. I mean, yeah, I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. Fuck, put the hard hat on, Dom style. I'm ready to go, man. Can you tell him that for me? Can you? I don't have access to Rizzo. Can you tell him today? Can you say, hey, that kid who works for Barstool, who does like the Coach O and shit, he's starting a picket fence thing for you. Like we got your back, man. He's got your back. Can you relay that message to him for me?
I will. Our lockers are.
My family named our dog after him. Our family dog's name is Rizzo. Like, I mean, this is real shit here, Ian.
My locker is right next to him. He's one of my best friends in the clubhouse. I will be sure to pass along the message. I will say, Anthony, there's a group starting, and they're going to pick it. They're going to be out front,
being led by me, and I'm bringing
the leader,
Rizzo, the guy, and we're going to do it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. How's the golf game, man?
Pretty good. It was pretty good in Arizona. Got to play a little bit, but I've one round since I've been back. The weather's been pretty nice. We had an off day right when we got back from spring training. And I was able, Davies and I and Arietta were able to go and walk 18, which was a great time. This is the season. It's like, how many rounds can you get in? I try to pick your off days and your spots, but it's pretty tight right now. We also have got the 5-iron golf downtown here in Chicago, which is a big deal because you can after a day game, you can sneak in there. It's like simulators underneath. So it's like there's like 12 simulator bays and drinks and stuff. So
it's like an indoor Top Golf.
Yeah, kind of like an indoor Top Golf deal. You can play courses on there, or you can just like hit balls and work on your game on TrackMan. So I just kind of sneak in there, grab a bay in the corner, and work on the game a little bit.
Nice. That sounds fucking awesome. I'm not even a big golf guy. Are you going to be watching? How do you keep up? Like this weekend, you're playing games and you got the Masters on. You just check in between innings. Like, what are you? How do you keep up with that?
Yeah, you got to try. It's tough because like when we have day games, you're in the schedule, right? So you can't, like, maybe in the morning when you're getting ready, it's on in the clubhouse. You can kind of, see what's happening. But then when you're out for the game, it's over. So night games are the best because when you have a night game, like I think Saturday in Pittsburgh, we have a night game. So we'll be able to, like, you get to the clubhouse, it's on, you're watching the whole time. And then by the time you go up for BP, kind of the last groups are finishing and you might catch the last couple holes before the game starts. But those day games make it tough. But we are in Pittsburgh. We're on East Coast time. We'll be able to, and we have Friday off day after opening day in Pittsburgh. So Friday we'll be able to catch a lot of the action.
Nice. All right. You going back home there? Yeah. You got any plans this weekend to see any friends? Can you see friends and family?
Yeah, it's tough. Like you can't, we're under our protocols for making sure that we keep everybody healthy. I will, my mom will probably be there, so I'll be able to kind of see her from afar. It's been a long time since I've seen my mom, which is tough, but I'll be able to see her, which would be great. I think, for us, as we get more and more guys vaccinated, more people vaccinated, and throughout the country, some of those will loosen up. It's something that, for me, it's been a real peace of mind thing. I am fully vaccinated, and like to be able to be like, to have that ability to say, okay, I can, I'm still going to do everything right and protect my teammates, but like, okay, now I have a little bit of ability to go out and like my mom and see people in the family.
So the Cubs, like, how you had to do that separately? Or the Cubs didn't like have a station or provide that?
Yeah, it was, it was kind of the, you have the, whatever state you're in, and states distribute vaccines. So I was actually able to go and volunteer in Arizona and help with getting people the vaccine and volunteer for like we had like a 12-hour, 13-hour shift at one of the local colleges and be able to help get people through and do some checking in. And that was awesome. It was a great experience just to see the machine at work because it is a process, and you have these people from all over the country helping and like spending every single day in a parking lot, getting people through, and it's an incredible system. So to be able to do that, volunteer, help out, and then get the vaccine at the same time was a cool thing for me to do during spring training, and just to kind of see that process at work.
Did you watch season 2 of Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts? You like it?
What are my thoughts on it? You know, I did like it. I thought like the first was it an 8-episode season? Am I correct with that?
Yeah.
So I think the first like 4 episodes, like not that much happened.
Okay.
And then it got like really good really quick. And that last episode, the final 10-15 minutes, that last episode, and you got like Luke and Baby Yoda, and the whole thing that's happening is incredible. I'm kind of disappointed because they're not going directly to a season 3 of The Mandalorian, right? They're going to
Book of Boba. Yeah, that comes out in December about Boba Fett. That's only a 4-part series, and then next 2022 is when Mandalorian season 3 is supposed to come. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but so you like the cameo? You like the end cameo there by Luke?
I did. I enjoyed the cameo. I don't necessarily know how they're going to fit that back into the story.
Right.
Like, where do we go from here?
Well, the fear has to become, right, that like Kylo Ren ends up killing Baby Yoda, and that's what everybody's, the worst nightmare is, right?
Yeah. So and everyone has to hate him double. I do like I really appreciate the fact that they're trying to go with a more Marvel integration. Yeah, where all of these different storylines intersect. I think it's a great idea. I think it makes all of these separate storylines really entertaining, because in the previous Star Wars it's not the extra galaxy, but it's like the
canon, the extended universe.
Yeah, correct. The extended universe. None of it ever lined up perfectly, and none of it ever, because there was different authors, and none of it was really licensed. Like, it was all under the Lucas umbrella, but it wasn't like he wasn't actually directing it, right?
It's not like religion. It was like a la carte, like pick what you want to believe in and then not,
Yeah, and then later on in the different, whether it was the cartoon series or the stuff that came under Lucas, they tried to tie some of it back together, but it could never make that much sense. And then you go on like Wikipedia, and they try to explain it, and it's like this hilarious line. They're like, well, and this and then that happened, and here's how we explain why this happened, and you're like, wait a minute,
Wikipedia.
This makes no sense.
Last one I got for you. It's a debate that I've been having online, and I did it on yesterday's show with Casey Smith and John Feidelberg. The hours of brunch. What is brunch like? How do you define brunch? When does it end? What are your thoughts on that?
Do you define brunch as only something that happens on the weekends, or can brunch happen any day of the week?
I'm leaving it open to you, because then I want to give my thoughts, but I want to hear Ian Happ's thoughts first.
I love brunch. I'll start there. I'm a big fan of brunch because I love breakfast, and I love the idea that breakfast can extend into the lunch hours.
Okay.
I do not appreciate when restaurants only have brunch on the weekends. Why can't we have brunch during the week? Why does your breakfast menu end at 10:30 on a Tuesday, but on Saturday now it goes till 3?
Gotcha.
I don't understand it. My ideal hours of brunch would be from 10 to 2 o'clock, 10 to 2.
Now, is that so? Okay, so you're saying that if someone says, "Hey, Ian, let's go at 1 o'clock and let's get some brunch at 1," that's still fair game to you?
Yes, I think you can get yourself something with eggs at 1 p.m. and I will not judge you. If you get eggs after 2, now we're looking at something that's more like breakfast for dinner. You're sneaking into that category.
So if you do choose to have breakfast for dinner, you call it that. You call it breakfast for dinner. It's not just dinner. And oh, by the way, it happens to be breakfast. It's like, hey, 6 o'clock. Oh yeah, it's breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, if you're having pancakes and eggs at 6 o'clock, it's breakfast for dinner. You're not eating dinner anymore. You're eating breakfast for dinner.
Oh man, okay, that's fair. So real quick, you got a million things going on, dude. You're doing, you got, what is the home run club you got going on?
Yeah, we're doing
about that and how they can join. I mean, more coffee. This is why you're such a great fit for the show. Huge coffee guy. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So Connect Roasters, which we talked about last time I was on, out of Bourbon Bay, Illinois, just south of Chicago. We've really enjoyed like getting to connect with all of our fans and how much people have enjoyed the coffee. They've enjoyed the quarantine coffee, and they've started to branch out into other of the Connect SKUs. And we have a Dominican roast. We have a Nicaraguan light roast. It's amazing. So we want people to experience more of what Connect does as opposed to just the quarantine coffee. So we decided let's make it a subscription where you can choose which type of coffee you want. You can choose if you want 1 bag or 2 bags or a 5-pound bag every month, and we'll ship it out the first of the month, and you'll have your coffee. And then they said, well, let's tie it into, our fans they've been so loyal. They've been going on and getting these merchandise drops of like game used stuff. And so let's tie it into something baseball related and really make it a fun experience for everybody. So every time I hit a home run, we're going to do 5 dinger dollars, we're calling them, for anything on the Connect website. So you'll be able to get more coffee. You'll be able to get shirts, merchandise, whatever people want to do with it. And that's part of the coffee subscription. And then we're going to do free shipping on everything, exclusive drops just for the Home Run Club members. And we're really excited to build a community of people that are not only drinking great coffee, but every month giving back to these organizations, the food bank in Chicago, Save the Children, both here and nationwide. And really our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers contributing every month to our great causes, which is just the most fulfilling part of this thing.
Love it, dude. I love it. Thanks so much for taking the time and chatting, man. You're always welcome. We really enjoy it here, and we'll be watching and hoping for warm weather here in the rest of April and early May for you up there in Chicago, bro.
I appreciate it. Hopefully we don't need to have that picket line outside of Wrigley anytime soon.
Exactly. All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
See ya.
That's Ian Happ, center fielder for your Chicago Cubs. Love that guy. He's awesome. Just so fun to chat with and easy to talk to. And his idea of brunch a little bit more on par with me. I think he's the same thing of, like I said, if you start it, 10 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. You start it then we're all right. But it's hey, let's have brunch at 1 o'clock. Yeah. That we can't get behind. So great show today. Still got 2 more good shows lined up for tomorrow and Friday. A few guests that I'm working on that I think I'll be pretty excited about. As usual, subscribe below on YouTube. Like the video. Come back tomorrow. We're live every day, 9 to 10 a.m. Your Cup of Joey merchandise is below as well. The links are in the description to buy those. So get those. I appreciate you as always. And I did the break with Doug's already, and you can go back and watch that. It was a good one. I got a card that I'm pretty excited about. So did that. Thanks to Doug's. Thanks to Ian Happ. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow.